For everyone Rowawaha. Well, let's start from the beginning. I'm from another galaxy. And my name really translates as Nika. I came to your planet completely by accident. I was only 2 weeks old when I was sucked into the rainbow portal. Oh, why didn't I listen to my mother? And she went out just 2 tails over the threshold. My meeting with a representative of your race was chaotic, but, as it turned out, not spontaneous. It turns out that I was ordered. But not in the sense that everyone thought. Your man, my Natasha, has been looking for me all over the galaxies for a long time. To be honest, from the very first seconds I doubted, of course, but after 5 minutes I was convinced that Natasha was not local either. How did I understand that? You never know what to expect from her, but more on that later, when I learn more about your language. Now only maths from my planet are in my head. So, when I landed on the floor, I immediately rushed for cover. Well, as jerked. I tried. It was only a week later that I found out that it was called linoleum. Asterisk swearing in his native language, I liked the shelter. It turned out that Natasha had made a maze in her huge bed. Asterisk sounds of delight, a reliable, solid maze. You won't be able to dig me out. I was sure. Exactly a week. But Natasha is an engineer with her mother. So I hid in the maze all week, came out only when Natasha was not at home and at night, when Natasha lay down to growl cough moanwheeze in all sorts of ways. On the third night, competent persons, Domovoy and Cupid, said it was called sleep, to eat, go to the toilet, play. And she took it, and grabbed me by the withers on a never-perfect day. Asterisk exclaims indignantly. The maze turned out to be not a shelter at all, but just another huge playground. I was looking for my mom. She screamed in all the dialects of the 2 galaxies. Then she just cried. Natasha echoed me in unison. I was surprised, but that's what won me over. No, don't think about it, Natasha is a normal woman, mostly, but, oh, those 2%. She didn't force me to love her, didn't get in my eyes, didn't pull her stumps at me, didn't try to lure me out of hiding. She just answered every word I said. Even though we didn't understand each other, from the word at all. She just gave me space, freedom, care, food, water and toys. When she wasn't at home, of course, I explored the whole new territory to figure out how to get home. I met the brownie and Cupid. They explained to me that there would be no turning back. They calmed me down for a long time. They convinced me that nothing threatens me here and I will live happily ever after, though without relatives. But it took me a week to get in touch with Natasha. When she went to bed, I jumped on her mattress, turned on the perphone, walked around in a circle. And Natasha, frozen and even holding her breath, just watched me. I could see her calm, good-natured, loving aura even in the dark, but I still didn't dare approach the stump. It was as if she realized that I was afraid, and for the next week she didn't even try to touch me anymore. But I touched her. And claws, and teeth, and tongue. Her stumps are not dangerous at all, but a very necessary thing in the household, a toy, a carding machine, a ironing machine, a feeder, a sharpener for teeth and claws, and a moving target. Another deception in life, by the way, after the maze, the stumps of the beetles still dug me out of the shelter. How I screamed. But this was the first time Natasha had warmed me on her chest. By the end of the second week, I started to leave the shelter even when Natasha was at home during the day. She still didn't touch me, because I still didn't trust and was afraid, and she seemed to understand it. At one point, it even seemed to me that she could read my thoughts and understand them. In a foreign language from another galaxy. And yet, unobtrusively, she offered me pens, rods, paper balls, an eraser, pencils, a ball, laces. In short, I have a lot of toys. And Natasha managed to find an approach. Even though I haven't figured out yet how everything works here, how to live now and what I'll get for it, but I'm already starting to like it.